Queen Bee's new Metro FM show, Front Row, gives you the where, how and when of everything worth knowing in Joburg.
I've got Simon from Private Property coming through in the next couple of moments, going to tell us where the hottest property places are in Johannesburg to make sure you don't move a muscle.
They have 1 million people a month searching for property on their site, so he knows what the market wants.
Welcome to Metro FM.
Thank you. No, it's excellent. It's my radio debut.
We all know that Johannesburg came to be because of the gold rush, but from a property investment point of view, is there still an attraction, a luster to stay in Joburg?
Joburg is still the epicenter of African economy. It's moved on from, the mining magnates of the day. Property investment is always on the rise in Joburg. It's one of the fastest growing cities in Africa, so you're always going to make a buck.
What are some of your favorite places, some of your favorite suburbs?
I think one of the things that I particularly love about the city is just the amazing leafy suburbs that we have, particularly around this time of the year. I think that's a fantastic thing.
But we all know that Johannesburg has a very bad reputation, unfortunately, when it comes to crime.
Yeah, I think Johannesburg, certainly from the rest of the country, has this impression of being quite a dangerous hood to live in. But the truth of it is, like everything in Joburg, there's the good and the bad. Certainly what's happening in a lot of areas is a resurgence, rejuvenation of some of the older areas. You're seeing the city centre really starting to make a comeback. You're seeing some of the smaller suburbs, Parkhurst and Rosebank really looking good again. But for those people that are really security conscious, we're seeing a huge trend towards housing estates. It's up to you how you want to live.
And that's exactly why I love Joburg too. But I'm spending my entire day with Simon from Private Property, so that's going to be amazing. Showing him the ins and outs of some of my favorite places in Johannesburg. But more music coming up right here on Metro FM.
Since development kicked off here in the late 80s, Fourways has come to define estate living. And having such a growing market to serve attracts the best in the hospitality industry, like Kong Roast.
Well, Simon, welcome to my first favorite spot in Johannesburg. This is my favorite restaurant. It's called Kong, right here in the center of Fourways. Cedar Square Shopping Center. On a Saturday and Sunday, it's the perfect chill place. But what I want to know from you is, what is the property market looking like in and around the Fourways area?
Fourways is just growing and growing. You've got people moving from all over Joburg out to this side of the world. On our website in particular, you're seeing massive traffic around the Fourways, Kailami, Centurion area. This is really where residential sales are happening.
Why is it that people are moving to Fourways?
Well, one of the interesting trends in property is this idea of living in housing estates. There's a perceived increase in security, and a lot of those housing estates are being built out on the Fourways side of the world.
But Simon, what would you say to somebody who wants to move to Fourways but is worried about the constant traffic?
Well, I think the first thing you need to do is do what you do in Joburg and buy a beautiful car.
So that when you're stuck in traffic, at least it's comfortable, right?
Absolutely.
The menu of Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese and Japanese cuisines brings you Asia on a platter.
I think the one thing that I really love about Fourways or, Joburg in general is the convenience. Whether you want a creche, whether you want a shopping mall, whether you want a nightclub, I think everything is in such close proximity.
Yeah, that's another great thing about Johannesburg. You feel like whatever it is that you need, it's within reach. There's certainly a widest selection of activities, of beautiful places to go and see, and as you said, facilities for your kids, for your family. It's a fantastic place.
But I'd like to know, Simon, when it comes to your customers, what is the one thing that they have to have when they're looking into buying in a particular area?
Well, it really depends on what stage of life they're in. If you're talking about a young professional, they want to be as close as they can to the nightlife and to the vibe of the city. If you're talking about a family, then you're really looking for areas with great schools. So there's definitely a difference depending on the stage of life that you happen to find yourself in.
If you're Bonang, you're looking for a fabulous shopping mall.
Look no further than the home of Joburg's largest and most prestigious malls. If there's a label, gadget, style of cuisine, a supercar or a Picasso you're after, this square mile is all things to all shoppers.
And Simon, behold Sandton. I eat, I shop, I party, I live. I practically do everything in Sandton.
Sandton's got it all. Hey? It's really the center of African commerce. Sandton didn't exist 30 years ago. I think that's the most exceptional thing about the place. It really embodies the new South Africa, the transformative transformative South Africa. The residential market here is booming. You've got people that want to live near to their office. You've got people that want to access the Gautrain and the airport from here. So it really does charge this place up.
For luxury with security, go up 143 meters above the skyline. This 600 square meter penthouse in the Michelangelo Towers boasts its own pool, gym and boardroom.
Lindsay, this is absolutely stunning.
This apartment alone is a 3-story apartment right in the heart of Sandton. It does not get better than this. We're literally at the top of Sandton. It is the highest building in Sandton, the 3rd highest building in Africa. This comes with a 360-degree view of the Gauteng skyline, and you can see all the way up to the Johannesburg. It's unique and something you won't find every day.
Clint Eastwood and Jane Seymour have stayed here, and you could lease it at 55,000 Rand a day. Central to its appeal are the various African-inspired interiors, designed by Stephen Falk.
The furnishing, the fittings inside a place really do inject the personality into a home. And ultimately, it's that personality that sells a place. When someone walks into a space, they really want to feel like they could live there. And decor has a large part to play in that.
Up here, you are living on top of almost every corporate headquarters in the country.
I'm the queen of the world! But Simon, I mean, when I was buying my property, location was one of the most important factors, and I assume still is?
Well, you're bang on. I mean, if you're talking about value drivers for property, it has and always will be where the property is. And you don't get much better than this.
And if you look into the distance right there, can you see? That's Rosebank. That's home to my favorite bar.
Brilliant. Shall we finish this over a drink?
Yes! Can never say no to a nice pink cocktail.
At the cusp of bold New Jersey and old Johannesburg, and arguably the city's most stylish hangout, the Circle Bar is an ideal meeting place.
Simon, welcome to Circle Bar. This is definitely one of my favorite spots in Joburg. Very private, which is very important, and I can literally walk from my house to come enjoy a fabulous cocktail.
This looks like a great stylish little hideaway.
The cocktails here are amazing. Come.
Johannesburg is like a cocktail menu. There is a style, an experience, an interest, and a vibe for every taste.
I didn't think you'd want a pink drink, Simon.
No, this is more my speed.
So Simon, how did you enjoy my Joburg?
What a great city. I think you've taken me on an amazing tour today. One of the things that you certainly feel about Joburg is this energy and this pulse, this vibe. And you know, when we were standing in Sandton, I thought I was making money while I stood there. It feels alive, it feels exciting. We seem to see Joburg just expanding and expanding every single year. So it's tough to say no to that immense pull, that momentum that Joburg seems to have.
And without a doubt, the city of gold.
Is Joburg where you would live your dream life? Hold that thought, as next week, Durban puts her best foot forward.